Hi, this is Mary Kay. Today I'm going to be working on the Great Wave of Kanagwa by Hokusai. This is a woodblock print from 1831. This is a famous painting. So I ran a print of this off, and I bought some Sorel transfer paper that's blue. I traced it out because the lines of this masterpiece are, all those little lines are blue. So I got the transfer paper and I'm just going to trace the lines on and leave them blue. This part right in here says the 36 views, or not the, it says 36 views of Mount Fuji right here, and I don't know what that says. These original prints were 9.7 by 14.7 inches, and there's about 100 of them left. The second thing I did after I traced all that, now let me just go back and say, there's light blue and dark blue areas. I did not trace around the light blue and dark blue areas, but I think you can if you want to. You have to look at it carefully. There's Mount Fuji, and there's 3 boats that are trapped in this huge wave, and there's people, and they have, their little heads are showing, and sometimes their eyes, the parts of the boat. This is incredible. And each of these little wave parts has, you know, these curly cues. Remember, this was all cut from a block of wood. Then what I did, after I got that all traced, the boats, I took PBO drawing gum. I use a good brush. I get diluted shampoo, and I put it into the shampoo, my brush. I use a good brush. I don't use a cheap brush when I use drawing gum or liquid Frisket. And then I painted all the dots on, the little white dots. But I didn't do the snow, I didn't do the waves, I didn't do any of the white part except these dots. And then the thing to remember to save your brush is to rinse it out right away. But if you put it in the shampoo, you can use your good brush. That's the secret. So I'm going to start off with the sky on this. I'm going to go around this Japanese box with it, the name of it. And I think that this sky has like a burnt sienna tint to it. So here's my burnt sienna. I'm gonna rinse that off and and I'll look at it. You know what? I'm thinking that that's just a little bit too brown. So now I'm gonna add raw sienna to it to give it a little bit more of yellow and a little bit more of that. So I'm mixing raw sienna and burnt sienna for that light color in the sky till I get it to that color. I think when I dilute that, it's going to be pretty good. Okay. What I'm going to do is, oh, it's almost, okay, so I have this, I'm wetting the sky with the brush. I'm only wetting the sky and not any of the wave. And I'm going around that, but I'm going over this. Okay, so I've left that white. I don't have, really what I did was I mixed the color in my brush and then I rinsed my brush out. but there was still some color in it. The drawing of this takes the most time. I did a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle of the 36 views of Mount Fuji, and when I realized how detailed these are, I just thought it was wonderful. And I want to encourage students to start doing some students to start doing ink and watercolor. So what I thought was we could pretend we're doing ink here and just see how beautiful it is when things are outlined. Okay, so that's the sky. I've just wet it. And now what I'm going to do is just add a little bit more color up here. Down to the wave, but around the Japanese, that says 36. You know, I just traced over those lines. I don't even know if they, by now it really even says the 36 views of Mount Fuji. Do you see there's a little lightness in here? That was all done with the wood block. So it's incredible. Just incredible. Maybe he went in with a little bit of paint or watercolor when he was done, but I don't know. I have to research that. I'm going to take a wet paper towel and just sort of dab out this kind of sky back here. And now what I'm going to do is take a little bit of indigo and put it into that little spot. Now it's not getting the right color. It's almost black ink, that little area here. I'm going to use neutral tint. Just the tiniest bit of neutral tint. I'm going to put it into that. No, yeah, that is really pretty close. Okay, and I'm going to start down here by Mount Fuji. That's maybe too dark. A little less pigment, more water. And I'm going to come down. I'm going to go around those little people. And there's the wave. And then this is dark. And then it just blends to nothing right here, where it goes from the dark to the brownish, the brown and the raw sienna. So I'm just doing this with a thirsty brush. I think that down here just needs to be a tiny bit darker, so I'm going to go ahead and just put a little more. This is neutral tint down here, going around the little people, up to Mount Fuji, to the top of it. going to soften it again. This is a thirsty brush. It's not perfect, but you know what? I don't think my paintings are going to be worth $1 million in 100 years. You never know, though. Okay, so there's the sky done. I think I will just soften that a little bit right there. Okay, we don't need to worry about the sky too much because I don't think anybody's really even noticed the sky before. Now I'm going to start painting the blue part of the wave. What I'm going to do, and one of the things I love about this is that the blue that he used, two blues. He used two blues. He used Prussian blue, which has the same pigment as Antwerp blue, which is a blue that I love. And so it was a new color, and he used basically he used Antwerp blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with Antwerp blue. That's right here. I'm going to make sure it's nice and clean. I think I have brown and yellows in this from whatever green I made last week. Okay. And I'm going to paint all of the parts that are the wave a light blue, a light clean Antwerp blue. And then I'll go with the indigo or a little bit of French over the top of it. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm painting all the part that's blue. I'm going around the little waves. Looking at my picture. And if I don't get this perfect, I'm not going to be all upset because I know what this is. I'm just copying a famous painting. There's so much to learn from copying famous paintings. I'm going right over my little white, well, they're gonna be white. Oh, I didn't go that far. Okay, get that out of there. Okay, so it goes right here, and right here, and that goes this way. Now, instead of drawing and painting this, imagine cutting this out of a wood block. So you would just leave the part that I'm painting right now and cut around so the part that I'm painting would be a positive, and the wood cut, you would have to cut all around. So you just would, do you see what I'm saying? You have a flat wood and you're cutting out everything that's not this blue. And you have to cut around the dots. So this is Antwerp blue. The pigment, it's pigment blue 27. It's the same pigment that he used when he did his prints. Okay, I have to be careful here. I just go around this. Goes up in here. Oh, this takes careful painting. The brush that I'm using is called, I call it a museum pencil brush. I buy it at museums. They have it, if you try to get one that has a nice little point on it. It also has a pencil, and the pencil is slightly water soluble, so if you go out and you're sketching, you can just use a little water and make it look like a ink painting. Okay, so here's this boat. Okay, pure Antwerp still. I'm just keeping on going to here, go around the boat. I'm painting right over the PBO. And around all these crazy little gnarly, curly, oh, I just went over one. Angles of this wave. Goes right up into here. You know, if I think I missed a couple lines here. I'm just gonna go like that and not worry about it. Okay, so that one's that part. I can see that this part's a little lighter than that part there. So I'm just going over it. I can go over it kind of quickly now. I gotta be careful though, because I don't want to mess it up. Okay, so this is dilute paint on dry paper. Now down here, I'm going down to this corner. I want to make sure I paint in the part that's blue and not the part that's white. I have mats that are going to map this out. They're called MO11s. The inside is 10, what's the inside? 10 by 7? Okay, up here. Alrighty, where am I? Here, here. And here. You know what? I left a few lines off here. So I'm just gonna kind of put a few, making this up right now. I didn't get all those lines traced in. I'm not gonna worry about it because the picture's gonna read, everyone's gonna know what it is because it's such a famous picture that a couple mistakes is not gonna matter. Okay, so here I'm going. I'm right here. I'm right here now, below the boat. Oh, this is taking me a lot longer than I thought it was going to. That's the boat down there. I left out that line. There's a wavy little line right here. Right to there. That's a drip. That doesn't belong there. Oh, that's PBO maybe? No, yeah. Okay, I'm going to keep going with my Antwerp. This is one of the things copying a master like this does is just makes you realize how amazing the work is. My paper's longer than the print, so I just drew my lines out and I painted them out. Okay, so now I'm to these parts above the boat. This just takes patience. Okay, going above the boat right now. In this area. I think my blue's a little darker now than the one below the boat. That's going to be okay though. I refuse to get upset about that. It's hard to tell what the line is and what the blue part is. I should have waited till the end of this because I'm right-handed. So I've had my hand in that already once now. Let's see if I can paint without getting my hand in that again and figure out where this is. Okay, this is so coming down to here. There's like one little person right here. Okay. And all right, so this is painted. This part I drew well. I don't think I left anything out. Again, if I make a little mistake, it just doesn't matter because it doesn't need to be perfect. If you look carefully, you'll figure out that even Hokusai's work isn't perfect. You can find little mistakes, especially right in here. Can find them. Okay, so I'll put a little darker. Okay, so now I'm doing these lines. I should have just worked top to bottom and left to right. Okay. Just working on the wave. Go. Nice this brush is. very, very smooth right here. Ah. And this little piece. This little piece. All right, there's that one. I have around Mount Fuji to do. And above the boat of Mount Fuji. And this part of the wave. That part of the wave has a little different shape than this part over here. This is that, and this is more smooth. Again, I just am painting this out the paper. Kind of just making something up out there. And now here, that was to there. This one is where? I don't know, I can't see anymore. Can't tell. And then these little guys here. And then here. And here and here. Okay, so that's all the Antwerp. And actually these little bodies, but they go around the heads. Very tricky. Might not have been a bad idea to, I think there's 4 heads right here. There's 4 little circles. I kind of messed one up. Oh, and then above it there's some. And then here, okay, 4 heads. And then that, okay, and there's a body and 2 heads here. Okay, and here. And how many heads here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Oh, I've kind of messed that up. Right there, there's something. Okay, and then that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, the next thing, oh, over here, I didn't put any dots in. And I forgot to paint it or draw it out too. So I'm just going to fill it in like that. This goes very smoothly to there. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add indigo to this puddle. So this is Antwerpen indigo now. It's a darker blue. And what I'm going to do is paint over the part that I've done already. And so there's these dark lines. I didn't draw them out. I'm just going to put those in, right? And just, you know, so it's not going to be perfect. It's just going to be good enough. And this one, this dark one starts about here. And so now I'm just putting stripes in. Oh boy. Ah! There's my first stripe. Now I'm going to put in another stripe here. It's a little line that's left. A little Antwerp line that's left. And here's one that comes out this way. And one that comes here. And it goes up here. And there's the lines. This one I think is a little more here. That dark line goes to there. And then it's in here. This one continues down. These continue down and make a curve. Here, this one here goes here. It's dark in here. And then another line, another. Okay, how about here? Here they start coming this way. I'm going to darken this up here. Oh, I forgot to do this side of the boat. That's okay, just do it in dark. Okay, so there's that. And then it kind of goes here and this way. Maybe it would be a good idea to draw these stripes in. Okay, and then here there's stripes too. There's my set of stripes on that big wave. Okay. Oops, that was Antwerp. Yeah, with indigo. Okay. Now there's, oh, I forgot to put the little blue. I forgot to paint this Antwerp. So I left out, there's a couple little pale stripes here. I'll leave them white and put them in. Okay, the dark blue goes around that one, and this way, and this way, this way, up here, curving around this way, curving, curving, curving. All right. Here. Oh, good. I have a few dots. I thought I. Is that the boat? Oh, no, that's the white wave below the boat. Okay, just working on this again. There's a few more of these. This here is dark. That's dark. That's dark, that's dark. The middle of this is dark. This one's dark. It's making stripes. Dark stripes and dark blue and light blue stripes. Okay, now the men are not dark blue, they are bright blue. And they have those heads. And this is all dark blue, Mount Fuji. That's the snow. I accidentally touched a spot there. And those are the light blue. And then over here we have a couple more stripes. And some stripes here. Oh, this is taking a while, it's so exact. I wonder how long this video has been going already. I hope you guys are all gonna have to fast forward it for sure, because there's really only just the boat and the men to do. And this color, I believe, is very close to that burnt sienna and raw sienna mixed together. So that same color that's in the sky, except maybe a little, you know, it seems almost a little, let's put the yellow, let's put the raw sienna in and see. You know what, when we did the sky, we should have painted the boats. All right, here I go. This is the same color as the sky. I'm just gonna put the tiniest bit of permanent rose into it. I'm going to use this color. Okay, so here's one. And I'm just going to trace in between here. Not paint, I mean, not trace, but paint. That seems a little dark. I just bought that a little bit. And then I'm just going over all these blue lines with my diluted boat and sky color, because I traced the boat with the blue lines, and so I'm not going to do more work to them. I'm just putting in this boat. This boat doesn't have any people on it. Is that what we have going on here? Oh, I missed a little bit of blue. I'll come back and put that in when I'm done with this. This is, okay, so then there's blue. This is this color. And then that's a little bit of blue right there. I forgot one line. And now this boat to here. Now, do you think that the heads are a different color than the boats? Or is it the same color? You'll have to decide. And then this last one. Oh, that wasn't quite dry, so it ran into it. I'm just going to pretend that didn't happen. Doesn't need to be super perfect. Oh, I just put that little pink. It is a little pinker right there, I have to say, but not that pinker. Okay, I'm just, see, now I messed up right here, but it's okay. Now that's a wave, and this is the boat. So I think I will make it a little darker, just so you can tell that it's the boat, not the wave. And then we have the people, and we have 8 heads. I didn't get those nice and round. 4, that's the head right here, yeah. And over here we have 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I think this is it. I wish I hadn't gotten that pink right there. And I wish I hadn't blurred that, but it's okay, it's not perfect. And this is the whole painting. I did leave out a tiny bit of blue, and it's the dark blue right here, and a line. So I'll put that in. That's the part, that part of the wave. I do not believe that there is, oh, there is more. I don't think that the wave has any brown in it, but there is light blue. So Antwerp, that's very, very diluted in the in this part here where some of these little blue lines are. Oh yeah, I can start to see them now. Here's some. Here. It's just some shadows. They're really light blue shadows. This one's up here. Up here there's a few. And where else? There's some down here. Now remember, this would have been another block, a block of wood that was carved perfectly, only with this light blue on the up part. Oh, there's light blue down here too. I see them now. There's light blue in here. Pale, pale Antwerp. There's pale Antwerp around this. And there's pale Antwerp right here. Now the blue sorrel is not as dark as the lines in this painting, but I think it makes a very nice, I think it works very well. I need to dry this, and the last step is to lift up those dots of masking fluid. So I don't know if you saw my, okay, here we go. Hopefully this is dry, because otherwise I'll smear my dots. This is a liquid frisket pickup. Oh, I can see I forgot something. Oh, here's the little dots go clear above Mount Fuji up there. I can see that I forgot some of the very pale blue in this area right in here. Complicated painting. It's so beautiful. It's incredible. And then I have this mat to go with these paintings. Oh, I see one last little point here. I forgot to put some dots up here, but I'm going to put this dark blue right here. Oh, I messed it up a little bit because I'm standing up and doing it at the last second. That's okay. It doesn't need to be... Ah! Now it's getting worse. Ah! Oh, well. So I made a mistake. And then when the mat goes over it, it's going to look like that. All right. Sorry this video went so long. I didn't think it was going to take that long. But I hope that you paint this, and it's a beautiful painting. Thanks for watching. Bye.